And welcome, folks, to This Week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. I'm the founder and the president of the Diversity Networking Group, and we actually produce this show. And we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas from the Diversity Networking Group, Christian Business Connection, and the City FM, who is actually Million. We want to thank you. Million Quinteros is over here on the board over here. We want to thank you, Million, for hanging with us and allowing us to be on your station here for 2012. So it is December right now, and we are excited about what is going to happen with the Diversity Networking Group. Maybe during the show we'll actually talk a little bit about what's going on with us. But we want to welcome everybody who's coming to us via the webcam over here. So we want to say hello. Hope you don't mind the shirt. It's a little loud, but my wife dresses me. And so we want to thank you guys for all coming along the show. So you might be asking yourself, what is This Week on DNG Radio all about? Well, DNG Radio is all about business. It's all about what's going on in Las Vegas and how we, as a radio show, can help you, the business owner, become a better business owner. As a matter of fact, one of the guys who is a part of the DNG, or the Diversity Networking Group, just authored, I think he's authored like 3 books this year alone. As a matter of fact, when I was speaking with another member, she actually is so busy right now, she can't even come to the group anymore because her business is taken off. And we've seen phenomenal growth. So we're really hoping that as long as you listen to this radio show and you're able to get something out of it, that you're actually able to take advantage of the things that are going on in the world of business, and specifically here in Las Vegas. So what's going on today? Well, we want to talk a little bit today about the trends of 2013, not just the trends of 2012, because those are gone now, but we're going to look at the trends for 2013. So hold on to your hats, folks. We're going to start with the top 20, and we're going to start right now. Hey, and the number 20 spot, vending machines, and let's call this Vendopia. Okay, Vendopia. The vending machines that are more interactive. And what do we mean by vending machines that are more interactive? Well, how would you like to have a vending machine where you could actually put something in the vending machine that, and let's say you had a Coke, and somebody, instead of getting a Coke out of the vending machine, let's say you've got a puppy doll, and you see inside that vending machine another doll that you want. Well, you could actually swap out your puppy dog for the one that's in the machine. But vending machines are going to become more interactive, not just dispensing things, but you're going to actually be able to do some great things with them in 2013. Number 19, upgraded ordinary. Okay, an example of upgraded ordinary is using things that are like mundane things for different uses. Can you imagine dispensing ketchup from a caulking gun? Okay, yeah, that's right, dispensing ketchup from a caulking gun. Okay, what these innovators are doing is they're taking ordinary things, ordinary everyday things, and they're using them for different use. Okay, number 18, dystopia fashion. You know, how many of you ever seen The Hunger Games? Well, The Hunger Games was all about a utopian society and what that is going to look like. Well, people are starting to really look at that more and more and more in their advertising and the way people are starting to look at society. So you're going to see that trend exemplified a little bit more in 2013. Number 17, millennial madness. Well, Generation Y, Gen Y, those millennial kids, people are starting to take notice of them. If you're a business owner and you know what, and you have people who are 19, 20 years of age, they are a whole different breed. Well, manufacturers and distributors are starting to notice these people in a whole different way too. And so they're going to start in 2013, they're really going to be taking notice of these Gen Yers in a bigger way because they are driving sales and they're driving culture. All right, number 16, modular retail shops. Wow, this is big. Okay, especially here in Las Vegas. Can you imagine using one of these? What do they call them? They call them shipping containers. And the shipping containers are like 40 feet wide and 20 feet, or 40 feet long, 10 feet wide, 10 feet high. Well, what people have been using these for, especially in the Caribbean and stuff like that, are these pop-up shops. And what they're going to be looking at more and more is they're going to be looking at building places exclusively out of these modular containers. Even here in Las Vegas, and we looked at this last week. Tony Hsieh, and we'll be talking about him a little bit later. Tony Hsieh, of the president of Zappos, has spoken to the people here in Las Vegas about doing a master plan community solely out of these modular units. So Las Vegas, we are ahead of the trend, and we've already got something going in, and it's going to be in the downtown area. So we're pretty excited about that, and so that is modular retail shopping. Number 15, imposed interaction. Well, these are interactive hotspots where shop owners thrust creative people together to generate creative things. Well, you know what's happened lately is you've had places like Starbucks and other places where people get together and they, excuse me, they get together and they people are in business and they do their business there. Well, in 2013, you're going to see more and more of that type of thing, not just in coffee shops, but all throughout society. So you're going to see imposed interaction. And what is going to happen is you're going to have more people who are creating great things because they're around other people who are talking about great things. Okay. Number 14, shoptimization. Okay, shoptimization is all about rewarding you for maybe even just stepping in the store. That's right. Retailers are really trying to incentivize people coming into their store, going across the street and checking the prices of a competitor. But what manufacturers are trying to do is they're really trying to get, they're trying to optimize your shopping experience by getting you involved more and more in the rewards aspect of it and things like that. So it's called shoptimization. Excuse me. Number 13, sustain architecture. Okay, I can't say the word, but sustain architecture. Okay, now to say that. Well, what this is, and we've all talked about the whole green movement and what people are doing with the whole green movement, and it's really interesting where you've got walls that are filled with green substances, walls that have are buildings and manufacturing that has a low carbon footprint. Well, we're going to have buildings in 2013 that are going to actually be self-sustaining buildings. Some of them on the level of maybe even growing their own food and supplying their own water. And so that's sustained architecture. So it's going to be even bigger in 2013. Yeah, it's going to be very cool. Number 12, deliberate vintage. Okay, this is the fascination with the return of things that are old and old looking. You know, with the acquisition of Instagram just recently, there are manufacturers and companies who are looking at people who want to return to the vintage look of things and the old looking things. So in 2013, you're going to see even more people going back and deliberately making things that look old. Okay. Number 11, immersive branding. Okay, immersive branding is brands like that would cover a bus, you know, those type of things. We have them here in Las Vegas a lot. But what they're doing is instead of doing a lot of things online, what they're doing is they're bringing their branding to the masses on a much larger scale. Can you imagine like a chocolate float in a mall, that kind of thing? And companies are going to the streets and having like mob, you know, dance-offs to show off their shoes and their clothes and stuff like that. So in 2013, you're going to see even more and more of that kind of stuff. And so that covers the top 10, or excuse me, the bottom 20 of the trends for 2013. In segment number 2, we're going to talk about the top 10 trends for 2013. And some of these things, folks, are just incredible. But let me tell you a little bit, before we go to our break, we're going to tell you a little bit about what's going on with the Diversity Networking Group and what we're seeing that we're going to be doing in 2013. Well, I've been working with a major retailer and builder here in Las Vegas, and we are starting what we're going to be calling the Las Vegas Business Promotional Network. Excuse me. And what that Las Vegas Business Promotional Network is all about, it's all about serious business-to-business interactions. And so we'll be talking about more and more about that. But we're having a kickoff January 17th, and it should be cool over at Lakeside Business Suites. And I've just become the director over there, so I'm excited about that. So in our next segment, we're going to talk a little bit more about the top 20 trends for 2013. This is Sherman Ray. I'm with the Diversity Networking Group. This is This Week on D&G Radio. We'll be back in just And we are back, folks, with this week on D&G Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. I'm the president and the founder of the Diversity Networking Group, located here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Folks, we are going down the top 20 trends for 2013. And we are actually at number 10 right now. So we're at the top 10 right now. And we're going to really try to go through these because there's a lot of things that are going on in Las Vegas. But you've got to hear these, folks. These are incredible things that are going on. The trends for 2013. Let's get going with it. Number 10, wearable multitasking. Okay? Can you imagine your watch that you wear is no more just a watch, but it's actually a dual-use watch. You can actually do sales with it. You can play games on it. You can do all kinds of things. So that's wearable multitasking. And so in 2013, you're going to see more and more of that. Number 9, subscription world. The subscription world is beyond magazines. Now you can subscribe to anything. You can subscribe to clothes. You can subscribe to food. You can subscribe to pretty much anything that you can think of. Manufacturers are going to start going to more subscription-based things on in subscription world. Number 8, physical virtual. Well, you've probably heard of augmented reality, and these are these glasses that you can put on that can actually show you something that physically you could not be able to see unless you have these augmented reality glasses. Well, in 2013, you're going to see even more, where you're going to be able to go into stores and you're going to be able to try on clothing virtually, or you're going to be able to try on necklaces or try on glasses or anything else, maybe even buy a car virtually. So that they call that physical virtual. So it should be very interesting in 2013. Number 7, benefit brands. Okay, benefit brands, and many companies right now are really trying. Once again, we talked about this going green. We're really on the green thing. But how do you know that a company truly is green? Well, benefit brand is going to be a program in 2013 where a certain company is going to actually certify your company as truly green or being socially conscious, and you'll get a sticker on your product or in your store that says, "Hey, guess what? That you're doing more to save the world." So that'll be pretty cool, actually, because a lot of companies are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm green." But their carbon footprint, if you subscribe to the carbon footprint thing, but their carbon footprint is that of Bangladesh or something like that. Okay, number 6, nostalgic escape. Nostalgic escape. If you're like me and I'm over 50 years of age, you long for the days of your youth. You remember those things, Hot Wheels, and stuff like that. Well, manufacturers, that's right, they've found out that a lot of adults really want to go back to those days. So what they're doing is they are manufacturing things like tree forts for adults. That's right. So you can experience what it was like being a kid, even though you're an old guy in a walker. So that's nostalgic escape. So you'll see that in 2013. Let's hit the top 5 here, folks. This is good. Crossover cuisine. Millian and I were just talking about this before. Boy, you know what? American food can sometimes be very boring. And what crossover cuisine is foods that we are going to be looking at from that are probably influenced by China and Japan and stuff like that. But sushi will not be the exotic thing anymore. We're talking about bugs, and we're talking about eel and stuff like that. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get us to start partaking in more and more foreign foods. If you go to a supermarket right now, there's probably 5 or 6 different vegetables that most people eat. Broccoli and beans and peas and stuff like that. But when was the last time you had a parsnip? Oh, when was the last time? And I had some this weekend, so Millian, I know. And you know what a parsnip is? Okay, parsnip looks like almost like a white carrot, but it tastes like and it smells like feet. So it's different. What they're saying is the industry is saying, hey, guess what? Americans are ripe for this right now. So nostalgic escape, crossover cuisine. Number 4, fashionizing. Okay, fashionizing is really dressing up ordinary products like a bottle of Evian water. If you look at a bottle of Evian water or Coke or something like that, it's pretty mundane piece of product. Okay, right now, if you're looking on the webcam, these are little fat pills, and they're a little piece of candy. But what's going to happen in the future, in 2013, is they're going to take a little canister like this that has got candy in it, and they're going to dress this thing up. And it might have ears on it, or it might have artwork on it, Andy Warhol, that kind of stuff. So that's what they're calling fashionizing. Number 3, we're at the top 3 now. Shoppertainment. Shoppertainment is more than just retail. It's truly trying to use, truly using the product in the store. So let's say you go to a mattress store. So instead of you just laying on the bed, they might have a group of you have a sleepover that night, and you all sleep on the bed in the store for that night. And so industry people are saying, hey, this is the way to get people really involved in the retail experience. And so they're going to be doing this on a major scale in 2013. Number 2, Indust Retail. Okay, Indust Retail. So what it means is industrial retail. So what we're using industrial accents, lighting, faucets, conduit, stuff like that, and they're using it more and more in regular people's homes, which is very cool, because people are saying that less can be more now. So you're going to see in 2013 people taking industrial lighting, stuff that you normally see in warehouses, and putting them in their home. And so what do we have for number 1? The number 1 trend for 2013 is manufactured addiction. Okay, what do we mean by this? Well, if you've got one of these smartphones, and if you're looking on the webcam, you're seeing it right now. If you've got a smartphone, you probably have at least 5 or 6 apps on your smartphone, right? Million, you probably got a couple of them, right?
Hundreds.
You have hundreds on yours. Okay, so Million's got hundreds on his phone. Well, industry analysts say that in 2013 they're going to go into hyperdrive on these apps, and these apps are going to become every part of your life. They're going to be contacting you over and over and over again to try to really incentivize you getting your product now. And so in 2013, manufactured addiction is going to go into overdrive, and so you're not going to just have the Angry Birds app. You're going to have an app that is going to be try to get you to spend money, like right now. So those are the top 20 trends for 2013, and I'll tell you some of them. If you think about it, you're already starting to see them already happening right now in society, especially here in Las Vegas, because we're already seeing the one where they're going to be taking modular retail pieces, and they're going to be beginning to take these big shipping containers and make things into them. And so if you're in Las Vegas, you can go downtown, and I think they've already had the groundbreaking for this, and you can start seeing this particular trend that's supposed to really go into overdrive in 2013 already at work here in Las Vegas. So it's very big. And I know for me personally, I can't wait to see the crossover cuisine, because I'm really into bugs, and I'd really like to have maybe a cricket or something like that, and see what they're going to do with that, and maybe that'll work out real good. So anyways, in our next segment, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in Las Vegas specifically, especially some of the things that are going to be happening up in the Northwest. I think you're going to really enjoy this, folks. For those of you who are just joining us right now, this is This Week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. I'm the founder and the president of the Diversity Networking Group. If you're ever in Las Vegas, folks, I really encourage you to come out to the DNG. We meet on Thursday mornings over at the Panera Bread, which is at 7175 West Lake Mead Boulevard, and we at 7 o'clock in the morning. And we also have the Christian Business Connection, and we meet on Wednesday morning. So we met this morning already at 7 o'clock once again over at the Panera Bread at 7175 West Lake Mead Boulevard. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that in our next segment. And we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Jelly, and you're going to enjoy that. This is Sherman Ray. This is This Week on DNG Radio. We'll be back in just Hey, we're back, folks, and this is This Week on DNG Radio. I'm your host, Sherman Rick. I'm with the Diversity Networking Group. And, folks, we've been talking about the top 20 trends for 2013. I hope you really enjoyed that. And so we're going to go on to, let's go on to some stuff that's going on in Las Vegas, because I think you're really going to enjoy this. Did you know that in Las Vegas, many of you know that we've hit, in 2009, 2008, 2009, we got hit like you wouldn't believe by the recession. And projects that had started, and we thought we were going to continue on. So we'd actually started building in 1995, and we're like the fastest growing city in the nation. We had 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people coming here, and like 4,500 of them staying here. And so we had building projects that were going on all over the place. As a matter of fact, Carrot Top said, hey, guess what the state bird for is in Las Vegas? That's right, the building crane. That's what he said. So that's the state bird. And so one of the projects was a project called the Shops at Summerlin. And that's located up in the west side of the valley, over near Red Rock Canyon. And that project went up, and it's on a huge acreage of land just south of the Red Rock Casino. Well, that project came to a screeching halt. One of the owners of it died. The other partners said we're pulling out. And so for years now, that property is sat there, and people are thinking, oh my gosh, and it's literally I-beams that are out of the ground. One of them sits up about 3 stories, and it's just I-beams and this big open lot of land, probably 100 or so, 200 acres of land. Well, that is slated to continue, and they're going to actually finish that. As a matter of fact, one of the shops that is one of the anchor shops on that is Macy's, and so they said, hey, we're in. And just this week, Dillard's said that we're in also. So we've actually got 2 major anchor stores that are going to be a part of that, which is really cool. So when it's all said and done with, that thing is going to be done by 2014. 125 different shops are going to be a part of that. And we are as excited as we can possibly be, because that many of us have to travel all the way across town to get to a decent mall. And now up in the Summerlin area, you're going to be able to have your own shopping. Well, in addition to that, guess what might be coming to Las Vegas? That's right. I don't know if you heard about this, but a baseball stadium is also slated to possibly go up in that area. Okay. This is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. This is by Herb Jaffe, and the title of it says, "Could a baseball stadium be in Summerlin's future?" Wow. Yes, it could be. So this was taken from just a couple of days ago. It says, take a vast tract of prime real estate, add to it the newly emerging 106-acre Shops at Summerlin retail center, which we were talking about, and have just the ingredients necessary for developing what insiders have long viewed as the very heart and soul of Summerlin. Right? It's no secret that the 200-acre tract adjoining the site of the retail center has been preserved by the Hughes Corporation developers of Summerlin for something very special. That something special could be deemed Summerlin's downtown or the urban village, or its pedestrian paradise, or not all 3. Or why not all 3, he says. Okay, so they could be doing a lot of this. It could be an urban village, it could be a walkway. I remember, because I've got a home up there in that Summerlin area, and we've been talking about that for years. Hey, what's going to actually happen here? Okay, these are just some of the speculations that have been thrown out by Tom Gordon, Senior Vice President of Community and Government Relations at Hughes. Or, as Warden refers to the 200 acres of vacant property, this site has always been regarded as a future commercial center of Summerlin. So it'll be very cool. Okay. But they're also thinking about having a baseball stadium out there, you guys. And that's what's the most exciting thing about it. And guess what? Can you imagine there being a professional baseball team? Not just a regular baseball team, but a professional baseball team out there. If you read down a little bit, it says, could entertainment include professional baseball? Complemented by a stadium to accommodate the Las Vegas 51's minor league baseball team? More to the point, a modern ballpark in downtown Summerlin to replace the antiquated facilities that encompass Cashman Field. So Cashman Field, you might have a run for your money. If you know where Cashman Field is, it's just right down Las Vegas and Main Street, that area. but it's just in a bad spot, and nobody really wants to go down there. It's just, but Summerlin, I'll tell you, folks up in Summerlin could see this happening. You've got great access by the freeways, and you've got a great location up there. And if people want to do anything other than that, I think that they've got something going on there. So that's what this whole thing is all about. It's all about Summerlin, and possibly Summerlin having a baseball stadium. Could be the 51's new home. So wouldn't that be cool? I think that'd be cool. So hey, let's talk. There was an article, another piece of news. I don't know if you ever heard about this. Million, you and I were talking about this earlier about the Las Vegas Jellies. Well, I was reading this article, and for those of you on the webcam, I don't know if you can see the front of this, but this is the front of the View, which I don't know if you read this, but I read a lot of stuff that comes in about insider stuff and stuff like that. So, but this is entitled "Grassroots Innovation: Like-minded residents meld ideas in jelly sessions to spur projects." Okay. And this is very cool. Now, this is over at a coffee shop downtown, and it's called the Beat Coffee House and Records, and it's at 520 Fremont Street. And what Las Vegas Jelly is the goal is to get like-minded individuals who care about similar issues or goals in the same room, and then let nature run its course. Okay? So let's say you've got, in this particular case, it's tech people. Tony Shays, we've been talking about this before, is a master at getting people together. He's actually rented out quite a bit of space downtown because that's where the new Zappos headquarters is. And he's rented out that area down there, and he's saying, hey, I'm going to turn this into like the next Silicon Valley. Well, these folks who are in the Las Vegas Jelly are a part of that whole thing too. And they're coming up with ideas for tech things that are just incredible, and so we're excited about it. So if you ever want to be a part of a Vegas Jelly, go to vegasjelly.com. That's Vegas Jelly, JELLY.com, and find out where you might meet up with these guys. Now, I heard about these jelly meetup groups. I heard about it about a month ago. These guys have been around for about a year, and what they do is they're just think tanks. They're brainstorming places where you can go. Let's say if you've got an idea, interior designers, if you've got an idea for radio guys, you never know. These guys can get together and make a talk all about the things that make you tick. And so I think it's some of the greatest thing that's actually happening in Las Vegas right now are the jellies. And they're not unlike the diversity networking group, because we actually have brainstorming sessions similar to this, and that's what we do too. Okay. Well, the last story we're going to talk about today, and if we got time, we're going to talk about the fiscal cliff, folks. This fiscal cliff. If you don't know it, I've got the copy right here in front of me, guys, and we may be able to get to it, maybe not, but we're going to talk a little bit about this fiscal cliff. The fiscal cliff is looming. It is just around the corner. Today is the 19th of December. The fiscal cliff has to be, these guys have got to deal with this issue before next week. I mean, it's got to happen because it takes a little time for a bill to be drafted and then to be voted upon. There's actually a provision in the House that says that the members have 72 hours to listen or to read a bill and stuff like that before they vote on it. Now they can speed that process up, I guess, but they first got to come to an agreement. And it looks like the president and the speaker, John Boehner, have come to some kind of agreement. There's been a poll that went out and says, hey, guess what? Most people say that the Democrats need to bend because the president is really being a stickler on wanting to stick it to the rich people. And then they say that the Republicans also need to bend a little bit. And it looks like the Republicans have bent a little bit, but the White House is staying strong with their position that, hey, guess what? We want people who are earning $250,000 or more to pay even more of their fair share of the tax burden. So, but it's got to happen, because if we go over the fiscal cliff, which is a culmination of a lot of taxes that are all coming together at the same time, that are supposed to be enacted in January. If we don't do something about this really quick, taxes are going to go up on everybody because by law it has to. Because a lot of these provisions that we're trying to stave off, that they're going to sunset. They're going to sunset in January. So the Bush tax cuts are going to sunset, and a lot of other things like that are going to sunset in January if they don't do something about it today. So, anyways, folks, be praying for those guys. Be praying for our legislators and our people up there, because they got to come to a decision pretty quick. Hey, while we're still here, we've got just a minute left. I want to invite you folks, if you get a chance to come into Las Vegas, I'd like you to come over to the Diversity Networking Group. Diversity Networking Group actually meets at 7175 West Lake Mead Boulevard on Thursdays, 7 a.m. Come on out, enjoy some time with us. We are just excited about business, and I think you're going to learn some great things. Also, we are coming back next year with the Edge training over at the Lakeside Business Suites at, I think it's 2620 Regatta Drive. You will enjoy that. That's on Tuesdays, 6:45. In any event, folks, go to www.diversitynetworkinggroup.com. Find out more about us. Follow us on Twitter. You can also find us at thecityfm.com to get the audio of this, and you can download it. And if you'd like to have your own show, I'm sure Million, the owner of the City FM, would not mind it at all if you came by and said, hey, Million, I'd like to have my own show too. Anyways, we will talk to you next week, folks, for This Week on D&G Radio. I'm your host, once again, Sherman Ray. We will see you again next week, Wednesday, 10:30. We'll see you later.